Alright, hello there, I'm that physics nerd, and today I want to show you how to enable and fly the fire arc using the Flux drive in Rogue system developed by Michael Giuliano. Alright, so I entered the Flux drive tutorial of the game, and what we basically get is the fire arc already started up and undocked. We're quite far away from the closest space station, so yeah, well, we don't have to care about that because we're not gonna dock with a space station or anything like that today. I'll probably show that some other time. What we have to do instead, first off, we'll enable the throttle lock of the main engine system, the MES. Flux enable, accumulator autobalance, and then you finally click accumulator charge. Now you'll notice that the accumulator charge will start to rise slowly. Now in order to be able to fly the fire arc, you need to set up some extra controls, because there are lots of buttons for lots of things, but there are two rather crucial functions which you need to set up. You need to go to control, and first of all you want to go to FPS control, and you want to set up go to sleep. My go to sleep button is bound to the insert key. The second one you want to set up is by going to ship system, going to main engine, and then you bind a key to the MES flux reverse engine disengage. This basically allows you to reverse the direction in which the flux drive applies a force to the fire arc. Normally it's pointing forward, so that just like any other old booster going forward, but you can also reverse it so that it applies a force backwards. Now I'm gonna just speed up this accumulated charge a little bit, like that, and we're done. Right, now we've set up key bindings so that we can actually control this ship. What we'd want to do next is to go to display, click VMS, and choose navigation mode amongst all these modes. This will give us a few more reticles which we will need in order to be able to navigate to our destination, and of course we have to choose our destination. We go to navigation. Now we're orbiting around this planet. Well, we're orbiting around this moon, which is orbiting around this planet, and I will choose this moon as my destination. I'll choose that one just because I can tell, this is not to scale, but I can tell that even though if I would like to go to that moon or that moon, this moon is currently in my way, and I want to just quickly show you how this is done. So I'll click this one. I've chosen it as my destination. I click the transfer panel, flux constant G, and I tell the system how much. This is always a bit tricky getting right. Whoops. There. You tell how much throttle you want to get applied by the flux drive. Alright. Next we want to enable the autopilot. I always like to enable the yaw, roll and pitch rolls. The reference point, we don't want the self direction to be a reference point, neither the orbit but the target. The target is the moon, which we want to go to, of course. Let's see here. So this big, I guess you could call it a hairy crosshair, is basically the if I were to point this reticle, the forward point, this is basically where our nose is pointing. If I point it there and hold the mouse reticle there, that's pretty much, yeah, we can almost see the moon like a wee black dot. Now we want to point our reticle roughly in our point of thrusting. It's not going to be in the direction in which we want to point the craft, the fire arc towards. It's not going to be immediately at the moon, because we already have some velocity in that direction, so we want to cancel some of it by pointing just slightly to the right there. We tell it to start aligning, and it's so close already, it's not making much of a difference. And we can start applying some thrust. It's not actually applying any thrust because the throttle lock is applied, so we disengage that and we start to accelerate towards our destination. All there is left to do is to sleep. For me it's the insert key, so I press the insert key and a counter starts to go down. Now it goes pretty quickly. Time flies by pretty quickly when you travel just between moons, but you have to sleep. You only sleep for 3 hours in game time at for every button press of the sleep button. So yeah, you have to fly for something like 1.5 day total or something like that when you travel between planets. Still, it's way better than what you would have to do in real life. Like if you were to travel from the Earth to Mars, that would take I can't remember on top of my head, but something like between 1.5 and 2 years. So it's way better, right? So I applied the throttle lock because we have to prepare for the braking burn, and I'll reverse my flux drive thrust, and we don't actually start decelerating just yet. We just go to sleep again, just 1 or 2 minutes, might as well. And you just follow these commands, these instructions, and we disengage the throttle lock and we start to decelerate. Let's see here. Yeah, you can just about see the moon. There's a wee dot, it's kind of sparkling a wee bit as I move my field of view around a wee bit. Yeah. So we just go to sleep again. And as soon as we start to approach our destination, we disengage our autopilot and point either towards this, so the opposite reticle. This is basically pointing at a 90-degree. This reticle is basically at a 90-degree angle to our direction of travel. We point in that direction until you see that this periapsis impact warning, until that one disappears. Yep, and we're gaining some altitude. This basically means that our closest point of approach to the moon is currently this height, these lots of kilometers. And we can switch off the flux drive now. Sleep for a little bit longer. At this point we can do that. And it will have told us we have arrived. Well, we've kind of arrived. And there is a bit more to all this. how to establish an orbit around the moon, and all that jolly good stuff. But I reckon I will save that for another video. I didn't realise it was this easy to make videos this long, and I apologise, but there's just too much to discuss in this game, too much fun stuff, but I'll try to be more on point. So yeah, have fun travelling to the stars. Bye.